Yo, welcome back to the Immigrant section. As always, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, click that follow. Give it 5 stars, Let's spread the Immigrant section. Let's tell people about it. Say something nice, 5 stars. It helps with the algorithm and stuff. And remember, full episodes come out on YouTube the Wednesday after the Tuesday when they're released. So check out full episode videos. And now, you can check out all my episodes and everything on the sonarnetwork.com. I am part of them. But enough of all that. I'm sitting today with a special guest. Please put it together for my man, Chris Robinson.
Hey, what's good, bro?
How are you, man?
Good.
I appreciate you coming through. That's your water. That's not even my water. Shit, man. That's my shit right here, man.
Damn.
Yo, I appreciate you coming through, man.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Bro, I've been trying to get you on this podcast for a minute, probably around episode 20.
Damn, it's been that long, huh?
Yeah. It's been a while, but...
life's hectic and shit.
Yeah, I know. Fuck, man, we're all doing our own shit. But yeah, if you're from London listening to this, if you remember my callback comedy show that obviously got canceled because of COVID, Chris was the headliner. If you saw those posters and shit, he was the guy that was supposed to headline that show. And obviously COVID went ahead and fucked all that shit up, huh?
I had so many sick gigs in March, too. It was like... going to be one of the best months for comedy. And then April, too. I was like getting so pumped, getting ready for spring, and then all this shit hits.
Bro, man, I finally got my Yucks showcase on March 31st.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was like, I'm prepping and shit. And obviously that was like, that's pretty much to like get with Yucks Comedy, the comedy club.
Why don't you see if you can do a Zoom showcase?
Is that an you fucking around?
No, yeah, fucking around, of course.
Why is Ryan at Bankus's protest show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's happening? He noticed me, I noticed him, but whatever, man. That's all good. Yo, let me just say this. When I first moved to Toronto, I started going to comedy in Toronto at the end of 2017. I moved here in 2018. But when I first moved to Toronto, my introduction to you was going down Bloor and your big ass billboard for Humber. Okay, I'm right.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah,
yo. So when I first moved to Toronto, I'm like, so this is the boy, huh? This is him. And it's you in a fucking jean jacket looking tough as shit. I'm like, yo, this is the comedy guy here, right?
Yeah, that was sick. They didn't even tell me that I was on that.
Yeah, well, I had no, dude, because I'm in the open mics and you're past that. So I didn't even see you in the scene for a minute. I just saw your billboards like building up this nigga in my head. Like, yo, this guy, he floats or some shit, but I don't even know, right?
Those jokes.
But and then I saw you at the Underground Comedy Club taping your album like a year ago or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Amazing comic. This guy actually just dropped an album. It's called
Gut Bussa Volume 1.
Gut Bussa Volume 1. Super hip hop, like Chameleonaire early 2000s album cover style.
Yeah, I want that Cash Money, No Limit Records, like kind of vibe,
Dude, you fucking killed it. Who's your artist?
Oh, it was Big Norm.
Oh, yeah? Big Norm's an artist?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Like graphic?
Yeah. He designed the poster and everything.
Yeah, all his stuff he does.
My girl took the photos of it.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. The do-rag, that came out of your drawer, right?
Yeah. I had the do-rag, had the grills, had to put on the chain, shit like that. But
dude, that's fun. Yo, bring up your mic just a little bit. I know I told you it's cool down there, but
there?
Yeah, just lock it in. It keeps falling.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right,
sick.
tight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have those like flexible handle things that all the proper people have, but
did I tighten it now?
Until
I don't know if I tightened it or I loosened it.
Just go
this way.
That way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, there we go. We good.
Okay, awesome. We back.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. How's COVID been for you? We were just talking about it.
Fuck, man. It's been ups and downs like everybody else.
No.
But for the most part, though, I'm like, I don't want to go back to work.
Yeah, fuck, dude. I could see that.
I mean, like, I want to go back to stand-up work and like entertainment work and stuff like that. But like, day job shit. Yeah, I'll hold off.
You have a family pretty much. You have a son.
Yeah.
You have a son.
Yeah.
So you could. Are you at a point where if you didn't have your son and you weren't kind of living with your lady, you could just live off of the comedy and entertainment earnings?
Nigga, I'd be balling.
Oh, yeah. That's my nigga.
Unfortunately, that's so, yeah.
Yeah.
I
was
so
wondering.
But like, I know every now and then I'm like, oh, man, if I didn't have a family and stuff, I'd be fucking caked. I'd be balling. But at the same time, though, I'm like, I wouldn't have a lot of this stuff if I didn't have my kid, which is crazy, too.
100%, man. Like, it's all connected.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy because I didn't get Just for Laughs. The only reason I got Just for Laughs, I'll tell you, is because me and my girl were on a road trip in the States. She got pregnant on the road trip, so we had to come back early. And then because we came back early, I got to do the showcase for Just for Laughs that I wasn't intending to do. And then
got it.
I booked it on that showcase.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, oh, shit. I wouldn't have got this shit unless I knocked my girl up and like had my kid. That's sick. So, yeah, it's crazy.
What were you doing in the States?
First time it was just a road trip. We were just like
The whole States?
Yeah, we did like a third.
Sick.
I think we hit like 25, 26 different states or something like that.
Do you do the loop like to Florida, then to Cali, and then like kind of thing?
Yeah.
The perimeter?
Yeah. Perimeter and then back through like Middle America and shit.
Did you line up shows or mics or anything?
Yeah, I did like some mics and like some random shows here and there and stuff like that.
Sick, man.
Yeah, it was dope.
Dude.
It was cool just like see the whole city and like I was so nervous too.
Because being black?
Being black and like with a white girl and like driving through the South or like, you know, rural places and stuff like that. Like I was pretty nervous.
Where did you go in the South?
I went to
like actually get out and feel it, not just like drive through it.
Charlotte, does that count as the South? Like Charlotte, North Carolina?
Yeah, that's South. Oh,
yeah. So
they're Tiki Torch capital, bro.
That's
South
true.
as
Yeah. So
they're North, but still just as hateful as you know what I mean. They're pretty hateful for how North they are. You know?
Yeah, I know. It's like
it's
come on,
weird.
man.
Like,
I know. I guess that's like what that was the Mason-Dixon line, something like that, right?
Yeah. They're above that,
above it,
aren't they? Mason-Dixon lines like. Texas. Actually, I have no idea. I'm not. Let's just give. None of us really know that.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck
just
we're
move
talking about. Anyway, we stopped in Charlotte, Atlanta, South Carolina.
Yo, how was Atlanta? I haven't been to Atlanta.
What's called Charleston. Atlanta was sick.
Atlanta was sick.
Yeah, it was dope.
Fuck.
It was honestly, something that was just weird to me, like something I never seen. I've never seen so many abandoned cars on the side of the highway as in Atlanta.
Bro, you just got to go to Detroit to see that. But people they don't have the money to tow either, so they just dip.
I know.
Detroit,
I'm like, there's just like people I'm like, there's just cars literally like along the side of the road. I'm like, what the fuck?
I used to live in the Detroit area for 3 years doing engineering work.
Yeah.
And bro, you would go by the same. It'd be the same car for 7 days, 8 days.
Oh yeah.
Old beat up Cruise or like some fucking like Dodge Neon or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Done, gone.
Something mashup.
Yeah, the window's broken now on day 3. You know what I mean? Like people are like looking inside. You're just watching it, man. The States is a whole different playing field, huh?
Oh yeah. But I mean, like, I wasn't there for a long period of time. We were there for like 3 months driving through. So like, you know, luckily I never experienced anything that was like really bad or fucked up.
Do you remember what Chappelle said?
I heard somebody get murdered.
You heard them be murdered?
I heard the shot, and then we checked the news the next day, and they're like, yeah, somebody got murdered like a block away from our Airbnb.
Damn.
That was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, but that's fucking, that makes you feel a little bit more legitimate as a black person, weirdly enough, right? You're like, I was there when the nigga got shot.
I was out in Kansas City. You know how it is. Out here on the block.
Yeah. Dude, it's like one time I was living in Detroit, and there's a really ghetto road. I forget what it's called, but I just moved there.
8 Mile?
No. 8 miles like long. One end of it is ghetto. One end of it is not. 7 Mile. All these areas, they have ghetto. They're so long. One end is ghetto. One end is not. Like Eglinton is not all ghetto, right?
Yeah.
Like some of it is actually pretty nice. And some stretch is shitty. 8 Miles like that too. But I forget what the street was called. The point is I wanted to I was new to the area. I wanted to take a new road home. You know, new to the area. You want to take different routes, see the place. And I wanted to take it. And I was like, fuck it. It's dark. It goes through a sketch area, whatever. The next day, I'm eating breakfast at the hotel. I was staying at the first month in a hotel while I looked for a place. The next day, I'm eating breakfast, watching the news. Fucking double murder on that road.
Jesus
on
Christ.
that road that night.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
like, shit. Fuck, man. I was like, fucking eating my fruit bowl like I avoided that shit, you know? It's funny, but it makes you feel so close. Like, that kind of shit happens so often in the States, you realize just how peaceful it is here in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you realize that.
Yeah, and it kind of, I don't know, sometimes makes me empathize with some people who are strapped up in the States. It's like, you know, I'm not like a gun nut or anything, but when everybody fucking has them, you're like, I guess I should get one too. You know, it's like, I don't want to be the only one without it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when the iPod came out, those niggas that were still with MP3 players and shit.
Yeah.
Like, man, get the shit out.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Show me the wheel.
People feel like that with phones and shoes. It's like, you're not going to feel like that with guns when everyone else has a gun.
Man, it's worked in the States, would go to Tennessee all the time for work in Tennessee. All of the people I work with, and they're all engineers, all like 22, 23 Jeeps, whatever, normal cars, normal guys. All of them gun 9mm or Glock in the glove compartment. Every one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, man, I kind of want that.
On our road trip, we stopped at this friend of the family, like a friend of my girl's family's.
Yeah.
And they live in like, I forget what it's called, but it's like maybe 30 minutes outside of Detroit.
Like Royal Oak or Auburn Hills or...
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, Livonia.
But like some like suburb outside of there.
Troy.
Maybe even like more than suburb, like kind of a little bit rural. And we're there eating dinner and stuff, and they're just telling us like all the guns they have and stuff, and they have like, they go out shooting in the summertime. He's like, bring your kid next time and everything. I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll see. And while we're eating, the son's like, yeah, I keep a gun on me all times. I'm like, what do you mean, like all times? He's like... Pulls out a gun. We're like, bro, we're having lasagna right now. Like, why did you need to be strapped up in case shit was going down during this fucking Italian dinner? Like,
that's
relax,
so
bro.
fucking funny, man. I could see that too. Just like, and then his dad would be like, Steven. You know what I mean? Nope.
Yeah. He's like, hey, it's my right. It's my right. Got my truck and I got my gun.
God bless him. He takes after his father or some shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, oh, fuck.
Everybody should. But I'm like, it was sick though. I'm like, can I see you? All your guns?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Then they like brought out like a bulletproof vest and like got all these guns. I'm like holding it up.
You took pictures?
Pretending I'm in like rap videos.
You took pictures for sure. Like,
100% I did.
Man, I love that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I miss the States a little bit. Actually, if the borders weren't closed, me and my girl wanted to do the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, yo, let's go on before they close the borders and stuff like that. All I want to do is just like get in my car. Like I have a diesel car. So I'm already equipped for a fucking road trip, right?
Why does diesel just run?
It just runs like it's super fuel efficient.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Super fuel efficient, and it's cheaper. Like diesel fuel's cheaper.
What if you put regular gas in your car? What if
it fucks it up?
Oh,
it fucks it up. Yeah, I haven't done it.
It'll ruin it completely.
That's what someone told me. Like if you fill the tank, there's something that could be done to pump it and like flush the system, but it might. I could also seeing it just fucking ruining it. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Kevin Solo, the comedian in Toronto, he's a huge diesel guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's obsessed with diesel.
Yeah.
I told him my fucking side mirror busted when I went to see the guy yesterday, and he just links me all these like solutions for how to fix it. I'm like,
oh yeah, he told. I know actually.
In it.
One time I got like a dent, and he's like, "Buddy, you should have came to me. I would have sucked it out." Or like, he has something to do. I'm like, "What? Okay."
He found my model and gave me. He's like, "If you can't find," I busted my side mirror backing in, and I'm like, "I can't find it at a junkyard." So it gives me 2 links of people who are parting out the same car. So they totaled the front end, but a bunch of the components are still fine.
Yeah.
So he's like, here, these 2 are good. This one's even the same color as yours. I'm like, damn, this guy.
Oh, shit.
Like 2 minutes after I left, I'm like, this guy's the shit, man.
Wow, that's sick.
I love it. Actually, I really miss the stand-up community around here, man.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's why it was actually, I'm not the most, I'm like a weird introvert extrovert. So when we went to Ben Bankis's, if you're in Toronto, you see that protest show we did in the field a couple weeks ago. I posted a thing of it. Everybody was in attendance there, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, that's tough for me to just be like, see 40 people I used to say hi to. I was kind of, you know what I mean? I'm just like, yo, what's up? That's a lot. But I did miss it. You realize it's like, it's almost like high school cafeteria vibe immediately, you know?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up?
Well, yeah, you know, it's like something where you just like, yeah, you haven't seen people in a long time, so it's nice to see familiar faces, you know? Even if it's like, even if you don't talk to everybody or like anything like that, it's still nice to just.
It's a homey feeling.
Yeah, exactly. To feel
miss
the communal feeling, you know?
So what do you think is going to happen with stand-up, man? I keep hanging out with Conrad, Ose, and some of these people that are like, man, stand-up is never going to be, like, they're doing like this, man, stand-up is done, or saying something.
I mean, I feel like it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time before everybody, like, we realize, okay, shit's, like, died down. This isn't a threat anymore. We can open shit up. I feel like it's a matter of time, because, like, it's not like they didn't have, like, performances and stuff when, like, the flu,
everything,
the influenza happened before
9/11, or like every time there's a thing where it's like entertainment is done, man, it's an emergency mode. It always comes back,
of course, because people want it. You know, it's like we're not just gonna sit around. Like when we've been doing these shows, like you really feel the energy of how much people like really want and need this. You know,
that
because
laugh,
they need
that
a
release.
social, they need a live thing to do with like a bunch of people because I don't know, there's just something you get out of it when you're experiencing something together, you know?
It makes you feel alive. It's a memory. Number one. Yo, remember that show last week? Yo, that was jokes.
And we're given a different perspective that's just shown on the news 24/7, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
it's not just like death, doom.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Now
exactly.
we're laughing. Death, doom, but here's a punchline.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we got to wear masks, but look at this lady. Like, hear about this lady. Like, you know, it's just like some weird shit that you make up or something.
Man, and people have to remember too. Yeah, you want to like that?
Yeah, you
Our man, roll something nice. Go for it, bro.
Okay,
it's all set. We're all good. But what was I gonna say? Like, people have to remember too that comedy, for a lot of venues that house comedy, they do it not because of their love of the art. They do it to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have a dead night and they have a comic running a show. They're doing it just for the purpose of getting people to their bar. Comedy is business. So as soon as the law allows people to be in the bar, bartenders the owners are gonna be like, okay, what's a slow day? What are our options for bumping it? Is it trivia? Is it comedy? Is it music? What is it? Like,
oh yeah,
comedy
is
a moneymaker for these businesses.
Yeah, 100%. And it's cheap too, you know. It's like it's not like a band where you have to have like 5 people come in. It's gonna be noisy.
The
and
drummer's
shit. They need
tires
to practice.
flat.
There's
or
like
some
all
shit.
this shit. Yeah, there's like, you know, stand-up's like, all right, you get a mic. I'm gonna find 4 degenerates and we'll talk
in a
shit.
second.
Yeah.
In a second, I'll find them. In a
Yeah.
second, you'll book your acts or whatever. But everybody knows if you can't make the show, I'll replace you in 1 minute. I can email or text anybody and they're down.
Oh, 100%.
yeah, show.
Oh yeah, roaches.
Oh, that's nice. So, bro, I gotta ask. So, if for those of you who don't know Chris Robinson, he is the recipient of the SiriusXM Top Comic winner of Canada, 2016 or 2017.
Yeah, 16. Yeah.
And nigga got 25,000. Yo, so I gotta know, bro. Did they give you in a check? How did it go? Tell me. How did it get spent?
It was.
You still have it? What?
Half of it was cash in a briefcase. The other half was in straight up opium.
Legit, huh?
Just straight up.
Yo,
opium.
man, JFL doesn't, or
like,
SiriusXM don't play.
Yeah, they're like, yo, you can flip this, okay? Then just give us a little cut back and you keep the rest. No, it was a check. It was a regular size check. But it was
do they tax winnings like that? Do they tax them like income? How do
no, I just put it in my bank. It was just
25,000.
Just 25 straight in the bank.
Did you have a party?
Check. After I won, I went to the corner, and then like some people pulled up, some comics pulled up.
The Corner
like,
Comedy Club in Toronto.
Yeah. And then I just like bought some drinks for everybody. We just, you know.
That sounds like a
was it.
celebration, man. God
Yeah,
damn.
it was sick, man. It was like,
Yo, our
one of the
boy
big
just won.
achievements of my life.
Our boy just won $25,000 from his comedy hobby. You know, at the beginning. Yo, actually. So you started young as fuck. You're like you have like a Chappelle-esque style.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It was like it was never a hobby, you know.
No, I'm saying
the
it's not. But that's how people be like. So when what's next? What's so what besides this like type of thing? Did people did people actually totally accept you doing the art from the get go or?
I mean, like some people like, but a lot of friends like because I started so young, so the only people who like. It was like even like my parents and like a couple of my friends, you know, a couple of my friends were like, really? That's what you want to be a comedian? You're like, you're not even that funny, you know? And
yeah, friends are sad. 17, how old were you?
I was 18 when I
was
started.
9. Okay.
I went to Humber, so I went like straight out of high school. Dude. And, but yeah, like I've had a couple people are like, you're not that funny. But like I also had a teacher in high school who really encouraged me to pursue it, like my drama teacher. So she like,
there's always the one who sees it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
because my family didn't really want me to do it, and like you know, I had some friends who, you know, kind of talk shit about it and stuff. But yeah, my teacher was always like Miss Stapleton. She was always like, she's like, you can do something. Like
that's fun. Man, I love it.
Follow your dreams, you know.
You have a couple of teachers you remember that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Unlike Biggie, who was like, for all the teachers that told me I'd never amount to nothing. You're like, damn, bro, you had it rough. You'll never be anything big.
I mean, he was selling crack, but
but only to pay for his daughter's earrings, per the song.
I know. I often think about that line, and I'm like, I wonder how I would feel if there's guys selling crack in front of my house, and be like. I wouldn't snitch on him. I definitely wouldn't call him or snitch on him, but I'm like, It's not good.
Yeah, right?
I don't want it here. And you guys be like,
Well,
yo,
what are you
man,
gonna
try to
do?
make money to feed my daughter. I'm like, yo, you're selling crack to my son. What the fuck?
Who also needs earrings. You know what I mean? So this is just a huge problem. For you, do you remember how long you were doing comedy before you had that first legitimizing thing that made your whole family be like, oh, okay, Chris is on the path?
Well, most of my family still doesn't really like fuck with me.
That's hilarious.
Like I remember one time Mo Ismail came over to like my grandma's house, and he was like trying to tell her how he's like, yo, Chris is like, he's really funny, you know. He's like, you know, some people say he's like one of the best like in the country and stuff. He's really funny. She's like, yeah, okay. I'm like unless I'm going to church, they don't give a fuck, you know. Yeah. But the first thing that like made me feel really validated in comedy was probably like the first time I did the Nubian show or something like that, you know. And then after that, it was like it's weird in comedy. You get little nuggets, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you'll have one thing in like 2 years. You're like, oh fuck, that went so good, and like I've been working so hard for this, and I finally got to do it. And I'm so happy about it. It's like, and then you don't have anything for another year.
And then you wake up the next morning and it's
like you're
nothing
back.
Stayed.
Yeah, you're back at HMV asking people if they want their CD in a bag or if they have their own bag. If they want fucking pure card points.
Bro, the first time I did Nubian, and I've only done it once, you know I got booed off, huh?
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
Yo, and not only that, it's funny you tell a Mo Ismail story. And Mo Ismail, by the way, he did this podcast. He killed. I cut a clip from it that was like, he did a thing on how to haggle in Arab countries.
Yeah.
I put it on YouTube and it blew up, and I put his name on it and everything. But he's hilarious, and he's coming back on. But right after I bombed and I walked off stage, he was the first person around my, like right there. You know how it's like the aisle. Yeah. I'm back. And I made it 6 minutes into the set. I only got booed my last minute.
Okay.
I didn't get booed up front.
I
just started tripping and getting scared and taking too long.
You
know how it goes.
Yeah.
But first person to my side, Mo Ismail, right away. He goes, bro, don't even sweat it, man. Chris Robinson, this person. He started naming people that also got booed. Don't even, man, it's all you, man. Trust me, it's all you. Don't even. And then Anthony Engelbrecht comes up to me. He goes, why'd you show them fear? You showed them fear. Why? You stepped back. Why'd you show fear? I'm like, bro, give me a second.
You're
man.
like, just relax.
Give me a second.
Can I just fucking process my own?
Because you know when they boo you at Nubian, the DJ
horrible.
drops the music. So I'm trying to like rebut in the beginning of the boo, think I beat the boo, but the DJ drops the beat louder than you can talk. So and Kenny doesn't come up. He's just looking at me like this.
Yeah, he's like, soak it in.
Yeah.
Kid. You better soak in the bomb.
Oh,
you're like, oh.
Oh, it was
yeah,
rough.
I know. My bomb happened. It was like a couple of years into me doing the Nubian show, and
You got cocky or what?
yeah, I got cocky. And the thing is the month before I headlined it for the first time, and I killed it, and it was amazing. I felt on top of the world. I'm like, fuck. I'm like,
It's like now it's 10 minutes, whatever.
yeah,
right?
yeah. And then so the next show, I'm like, I already headlined this show.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm coming in hot, and like I'm sick. And then Cypher Sounds was on the show too.
I don't even know who that is. Cypher Sounds.
He was he's a comic
Canadian
now,
comic?
but he used no, he's from the States.
Oh.
But he used to be Dave Chappelle's DJ on Chappelle's show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy with the headband.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
DJ ever had a headband, I guess, right?
But he's a comic now too. He's doing really well.
Sick.
And
Cypher Sounds.
so he went up before me, and he was like just smashing. And then I kind of just, I just swagger jacked, kind of, like.
Oh, you walked on too much swag?
I swagger jacked him, like the vibe that he was doing. I tried to kind of like
Continue
his vibe, instead of like setting a clean slate and being like, yo, this is me. I kind of just, I was kind of coming in with his energy. It wasn't a natural energy.
Yeah,
I could tell I was trying too hard.
It's like following Big Norman coming in with a song or like dancing in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the set was just like okay, and like it wasn't really hitting and stuff. And then they didn't really boo me until the end, when like I said some joke that didn't go over at all. And then I was like, all right, well, tonight I had fun, but you guys suck, so you can suck my dick. I gave him the finger. I gave the crowd the finger. And there's like, boo! Boo! I just felt it coming on. I'm like, ah! Oh, God.
Wait, in your head, did you think like the non-giving a fuck of it, people would be like, fuck you?
So
or did you actually be like, or you just thought it was done?
I knew I bombed, but they weren't booing me yet. And I was just like, ugh, fuck this.
Yeah.
And then
you accepted the bomb already?
I accepted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the boo is actually almost like a cherry on top in a weird way, right?
Kind of. Like, I was like, just give it to me.
Yeah. Right.
Just fucking do it already, all right?
Ah! That's amazing, man. You know what's weird for me? So I was an engineer first, and then I was doing an engineering job, and at night I would do open mics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I got laid, and I used to live in the States. I used to live in Cali, in San Francisco, like in the Silicon Valley.
And you started doing stand-up there?
I started in Detroit. So I lived in the States 3 years. The first 2 years and a bit, I was right outside Detroit, right where your girl's like family is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Troy, Madison Heights. I lived there. And then working automotive. And then I went to Cali to work for Silicon Valley for like 8 months. And in Detroit, I did an open mic once a week on Mondays when I first started.
Yeah.
And I have a sick story I'll tell you that I think you'll appreciate too. But when I went to San Fran, San Fran, their comedy scene is just like Toronto's.
Yeah.
You can do 2 open mics pretty much every day except for Friday, Saturday. And then those are the shows for the days for the shows and the clubs. So there's not a lot of open mics.
How many clubs is there, 2?
They have Punchline, they have Cobb's, which are 2 big ones.
Yeah.
And they may have some other ones that I'm forgetting about right now.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, when I moved to San Fran and was doing engineering by day, I was doing comedy almost every night. That's when I immersed myself to. I realized, to become a comic, you got to grind pretty much.
Yeah.
You got to be doing this every day almost, right? You know what I mean? Like I was doing it for 6 months. I was like, actually for 1 month, I was like every week or some shit. Then I moved there. But anyways, so I got laid off. Had to move back to Canada and pretty much moved to Toronto to just do comedy. And I got part of ACTRA and trying to do like commercial hustles and stuff like that.
Nice.
And you can imagine my immigrant family's like tripping that I left an engineering career to do this. And I'm like I came here when I was 6. So I'm like fresh immigrant. Like the idea of following an art, they still don't really understand what I do almost.
Yeah.
Like my brothers and my siblings, they get with stand-up cup, but my parents are like, but my legitimizing moment for stand-up was when McDonald's booked me for a fucking spicy chicken billboard.
Oh, yeah.
The Spice Face, them seeing me on that billboard to McDonald's legitimized everything I was doing. They didn't even give a fuck about stand-up. They're like, it trumped stand-up. They didn't even care about stand-up.
100%.
They're like, oh, fuck that. You're doing something out there. Hell yeah, keep going, like that kind of vibe.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. It had nothing to do with, and I'm grinding open mics and shit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you think
All
it come
they
from
do
a
is,
show?
like, if they see you on TV or on a commercial or a little like random behind the scenes thing, even if you're just background
like
or something.
award.
Oh, yeah. I know
that-
so many people from like, would hit me up. People I've never talked to in years, from high school. Be like, I saw you this like Rogers commercial. Like, oh man, that was so sick. And stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I've had that too. But the worst is when someone like doesn't have the tact to just not be like, so what's new? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, you can't start the conversation like that, okay? Come
Yeah.
on, man. That's like taking someone into hostage into a conversation.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Like, congrats on that. What's happened in the last 9 years?
You're like, I don't want to catch
Bro,
up.
man, I appreciate, like, you know what I mean? And I
tell
see
me
you do,
a
I'm
thumbs
liking
up.
the pics. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
liking your shit. Nice cottage, The deck, I like the new deck. You know what I mean? But
man.
yeah, it's funny how you work so hard in some shit and then it's some other little thing that people will accept you for.
I know. I like.
Wait, you're the of Jamaican. Like your grandma is like based on her accent. She's like she came here in like mid-age or what?
Yeah, she came in like. I think she was middle-aged when she got here.
Have you ever gone back as like?
Only as a kid.
Yeah?
Like I was like when I was like 4, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. It's my earliest memories are of Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
And still to this day, when I like smell certain weed, I'm like, oh, it reminds me of Jamaica. You know?
Actually, yeah?
Yeah,
Childhood.
legit. As a kid, I'd like, when we came back, I'd be like walking to school or something, and I'd smell that smell in the air, and I never knew what it was. But I'm like, why does it smell like Jamaica? Like around the high school, whenever I pass it. This is so weird.
So were you born there and you lived there for some years? Or
No, I
like
was
you
born here.
went there like
Just for a
as a
trip.
kid for like the summer or some shit?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. And then you don't know what it is. You smell it around, like when I was a kid, I smelled it around some grade school teachers' cars.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it was some smell like, and I didn't have Jamaica. I'm from Sudan, which is like there's no like you'll kill you for weed. You know what I mean?
You have
Like
hash there?
yeah, like that's everywhere you go where like you can't get weed because of government. Hash is always the easy thing for people to have.
But
It's like,
isn't hash is made from weed, though, right?
yeah, but like it's you don't need the living like flower. So in a market that like you can't always have it, and you just need, it's way easier to have like
Oh, it's
something
easier
like
to
hash,
hide, and it doesn't smell too,
yeah,
right?
exactly, right? Like weed has a shelf life. If it's in a bag, it's like good for a month or a week or two before it's really dry.
Yeah, but hash
you
will last for
they can just
probably
try to
years, actually.
Probably, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
even know what the shelf, but it comes like clay, right?
Yeah.
In all those countries, like China too, and shit like that. They saw like any places that are super stringent against drugs. It seems like hash is always like your option, your easy option.
I've never been to Africa,
Yeah,
or I've never been
But, like-
anywhere over there.
I wonder what you would feel as a Jamaican, like going to Africa, but like a Canadian, pretty much you're a Canadian guy going.
Yeah,
to
I'm
Africa.
Canadian,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm
But
bro.
it's so
I'm
funny,
a
like-
Canadian guy going. When I go, I've been like when I was a kid, I was born in Sudan. 3, I moved to Oman, like the Middle East, and we lived there for 3 years. Then from 6, I lived in London, Ontario. From first grade, I arrived in November of first grade in London, and I did it until 12th grade.
Yeah.
And then I did everything here, right? So when I go back to Sudan, I'm like, bro, they just call me like, because it's Arabic, right? They just call me Canada boy.
Oh, really?
You know, you're just Canada boy. You know what I mean? Like you're rich right away. Like you're just, you know.
You're like, no, man, I'm struggling
yeah,
too.
literally.
I'm just
bro.
struggling
It's
over
like
there
your
in a
bit.
different
It's-
place.
Yeah, it's like similar. You do a bit about the hood and shit like that.
Oh,
the
yeah.
suburbs versus hood. Same idea where it's like, oh, Canada guy. You know what I mean? We're living in government housing in London, Ontario, right?
Yeah.
But we go to Sudan, like they're like, oh, the prince is here. You know? And you're like, fuck off.
Oh, man. What's do you have a lot of family in Sudan still?
All of it. See, that's the thing about Sudanese. I was talking to my buddy about this actually. So many other cultures, Jamaicans, I think, do this too, and like Caribbeans, they come as like packs. So like your family will be here, your aunts and uncles will be here, a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Sudanese and like some Somalis, we just come one family that can get the fuck out, and we're just in a place with no other family there.
Yeah.
So we just get in like the community, but other people, they bring like a lot of their family trees like over. So it's like they already have a community built in, and we weren't, which is kind of like that's something that would have been sick to just have cousins down the road or cousins you could drive to.
That's something I kind of worry about too, because like I grew up the same way where like, you know, my dad is from a family of 4, you know, like he has one brother and 2 sisters, and they all have kids. So I had like tons of cousins and stuff like that who would visit and shit like that.
They're all in Jamaica?
No, they're in New Jersey. Mostly.
Okay.
And then my mom's like brother and sister live here, so then I'd see those cousins and stuff up here and stuff like that. And like I always had cousins and like people to hang out with and like people to visit and stuff like that. And that's why I'm like scared for my son, because like I want to move to the States and I want to move to LA, but like I would be like in the same position as your family was. We'd be like the only people with like nobody else basically who was family out there.
Yeah,
some friends who are like comics, you know, but like
you're right. It's tough because when you're single, you don't have that thought. But
yeah,
that's a really good point. Like you really are like. But you know what? Whoever you build your community around, it'll have that vibe. Because I didn't have the people I went to that lived in that same subsidized neighborhood that were Sudani or Somali or white or whatever. A bunch of them, we had almost like open door policy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know how that's how people are with their cousins.
Yeah.
It's like open door. You can just kind of walk in. His mom or his dad could catch me anywhere in the house and they'd be like, what are you doing down there? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Like we can find you in here. It's kind of fine. So you have that wherever you go.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like that with family is a built-in community. Like
Yeah,
cousin,
exactly.
that's built in right away. Even if you don't like them, you're at the place.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
And you're always gonna have, one or two cousins that feels like more than a cousin. It's like even if you only see them randomly, you're like you still feel like a brother, kind of.
Yeah, man.
I have some cousins like that.
But I make like the friends that like my friends. I literally feel like that about.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, like they actually feel like your brothers. You know?
Oh yeah.
Especially ones who you've known for a long time.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, it's crazy. Sometimes I just think like it's funny how you can just get picked up from a place. So like what you want to do to LA, but to immerse yourself in that new place and you can't
Yeah.
look back.
Yeah, I know.
But that's not your hand, I don't think. Because Canada's open doors. There's money for you to be made in Toronto always, and families here. So all like LA to Toronto, that's just a 5-hour deal.
yeah, exactly.
You know
It's
what I
not-
mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you're going back and everyone is expecting you to like like
bring stuff back.
and like elevate the neighborhood and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have this almost like political responsibility when it's like the Africa. We always have to come back with 9 suitcases of shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jamaicans
Everyone's
are like that.
accounted for.
Whenever you go back to Jamaica,
There's
like, you got to bring like a
expectations.
barrel.
Yeah, I'm
a
like,
barrel full of shit.
you don't have that between going to LA to Toronto. I don't expect you to come back with
People
shit. Right?
do sometimes.
Yeah, that's
they
if you're
expect me to
gone
come
for a
back
while
with-
though, right?
They want me to come back with a barrel of fucking shit that they don't sell here.
Yeah.
Just some Captain Crunch with crunch berries and some blunt wraps and guns.
Crunch berries. What the fuck is a crunch berry, by the way? Is that a
You never
real? That's
said?
not a.
Yeah, Captain Crunch with crunch berries.
What's a crunch berry? That's
you know,
like their
do you know
brand.
Captain Crunch?
Like the cereal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then there's Captain Crunch. They have regular Captain Crunch. Then they got Captain Crunch with crunch berries, which is just like a berry type cereal mixed in with the Captain Crunch.
But you keep saying crunch berry. Like, is that a regular berry that exists in nature? Or
No.
yeah. You keep saying it's you know what I mean? So that's their branded berry. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm like, what the fuck is a crunch berry? Dude.
That's so funny.
I must be so high.
Oh man, the crunch berry. Yeah, the North Alaskan crunch berry.
But man,
That's so funny.
are you watching Rami? I know your boy Dave Marhaj.
Oh yeah, I watched the
Bro,
first season.
I'm as a Muslim, someone who grew up. Bro, when I watched season 1, when I watched episode 1 of season 1,
Yeah.
I saluted them. I saluted the show. I was home alone watching it. I saluted it. It was like
It's
exactly
incredible.
how I would try to depict if I ever got the funding and was driven to write something. That's the best case of what it would have been.
Oh,
like
yeah.
how we showed the prayer preparation and the aggressive Egyptian guy. That's real life. That was perfect.
Oh man, that show's incredible.
Did you watch season 2?
No, I haven't started season 2 yet.
Love the season 1 is incredible.
Yeah.
And did you finish season 1?
Yeah.
With the Egypt and everything?
Oh yeah.
Incredible,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Season 2, great. Still love the show. Dave Marhaj is the funniest person in season 2.
Yeah?
He's just doing stand-up now.
Nice.
He's just coming in from the side and doing like a little rant. That's just kind of like a bit.
Yeah.
He's comedic relief, but they really let him. It's not one line. Like, he's hilarious.
I know he had
and
one. There's one scene in the first season that he had when like Rami and his friend, I think Steve is his name, the guy in the wheelchair.
In the wheelchair, yeah.
Yeah. Where they drop off the girl to the hospital, and Dave is like taking them inside through like the back door because he's like the doctor and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, one of the lines he had is just about Steve. It's so funny. He's like, "Fuck, man, he should have been alive. I told you he should have died 4 years ago. This guy's the fucking devil, man." And it's like, it's so funny, just dying. I'm like,
Yeah, I love it, dude. But season 2
he's
is
so good in it, man.
it-
And so good to see just the glow up, like me and Dave, like we used to, like when I started comedy, we used to work together at like the city sightseeing bus tours, like Bear Comics used to work there, but like, Dave's
That's a Toronto tours where you'd be like, if you look
he's
to your
standing
left
on a
and you're
bus
funny.
like giving tours
Yeah,
and stuff. Or we'd like hand out maps on the street corner and shit like that. And
Would you do your act in the bus?
I got some jokes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I didn't have many clean jokes back then, but
Oh, okay.
the ones
Was
that-
Dave
that
doing
could.
some of his act?
I think Dave didn't do the tours.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he was like, because you have to remember a lot of facts.
Oh,
and, like,
so
a
he was
lot
just
of
giving out the pamphlets and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But Dave, yeah, he was sick, man. I've just seen him grind so hard, and like when you watch somebody just actually, literally, like day in, day out, like putting in bare shows, doesn't matter where. Like he was the one who introduced me to doing like, not just regular open mics. Like he's like, go to fucking like poetry open mics and try and get on there. Go to a music open mic, get on there. Anywhere that you can get on stage where people are gonna let you, and just like bang out. He fathered a lot of people's styles too. Like the ranty kind of like going style. It's
the
like,
momentum thing. Yeah,
yeah. That's all Dave, man. Straight up.
Bro, I'm a huge fan, and I've only seen the end product.
Yeah,
I've come into this, and I did the Plus Time Comedy Anniversary show. Me and Max's show. You came. You did a set.
Oh, yeah,
Dave
yeah.
was in town.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did a set. A bunch of people did a set. It was crazy. He goes in. He kills. He's hilarious. And then I'm on a show the next day. He came to Toronto for like 4 or 5 days, and he got on every show every day. He was at like 4 shows a day. I'd be at a mic. He's like at the show across the mic, and then a show. He's at that show. So I was at a show, Main Stage Comedy Bar, and he just comes in and
He grinds, man.
And he
and
kills.
that's why he's like where he's at, because
Yeah,
he fucking
I love
grinds.
that.
I remember I stayed with him for like a few times when I was out in LA, and it's like some shows out there. It's like he doesn't give a fuck. Like he's someone who we would look at and be like, bro, you're above this show. And he'd be like,
yeah?
He's like, no, man. Like, nobody's above this shit. It's like, everybody needs to work. You always got to be working. You always got to be putting in sets. And it's like, yeah, the hustle is in his heart. That's what
good vibes. And I only wish him happiness. And like I said, season 2, he's the funniest person on
That's
it.
sick, man. I can't wait to watch that shit. My brother just became Muslim.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
converted to Islam?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Is he younger, older?
He is older.
Fuck. Is he to marry a chick?
Pardon?
Is he to marry a chick he converted to Islam?
No.
So he went to prison or what? Like, yeah, like, right? Like, there's okay,
so
come
funny.
on. It's jail
I know, I was
time,
literally
marrying a
thinking
girl, or just like, or actually just converting. Because I know a white guy who converted to a guy Islam. They're always the best ones. The people who convert to Islam are always the best ones.
the most, yeah.
Are always the best ones.
Oh, 100%.
You'll
I
see.
was just like that in like I grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
So it was like same thing. It's like people who grow up in it, it's just like, yeah, it's whatever. But some people who just, they're in their 20s and they used to fucking
do it
rob
all.
houses
Yeah.
and they got caught and they're like, shit,
Yeah.
I gotta find God. And then they're like so hardcore about it.
Blackmail children. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking like horrific person.
But you're still Muslim, right?
Yeah, like I'm like Muslim is like I think of it as like think of that as a spectrum too. Think of it all. You know what I mean? It's like there's a fully committed doing it by the book, and I don't believe, and that's how I was raised in, and I don't believe in that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't believe it as in a literal guidebook. I think of it as a figurative guidebook.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like. It's so weird. Some things we're so exact with. They're like, don't make sure your knees to your belly button are always covered. Pray 5 times a day, this and that, because it'll connect you. Okay, that's all good. But then when you also say, hey, also the earth was made in 6 days, just so you know, per the book.
Yeah.
That's what it's like, come on. If we have to take the 6 days thing as a metaphor, as like he made the earth, forget about the days, let's take that as a metaphor.
Yeah.
And if we take that as a metaphor, we got to take everything as a metaphor.
Yeah.
We can't be like, okay, this is literal and this is figurative.
Yeah,
And that's
100%.
what's kind of happening. You know what I mean? Like, and I can't do that. So I'm just like, I'm over here and I'm like, even my mom, till this day, my mom is very religious, very like non-religious, you know? Till this day, every time like I leave the house, she pretty much pleads with me to pray. Pray for me. Pray for me. I carried you 9 months.
It's insane
Yeah,
the amount
pray
of
for
guilt
me.
that
Yeah.
parents try and put on you.
I'm a good person. Isn't that what? Just to be good. Just be a good person. That's the end goal of any of these systems
any
of belief
religion,
is to just be a good person.
Yeah.
So how about let me just try to like stop trying to figure out the rule book and just do do what feels right, you know? Be a decent fucking human. It's not hard. You know?
Of course.
It's not hard. It's the
and
default.
it's like, yeah, and I'll still make mistakes. You'll still make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody who's like in a religion is perfect. It's like, what? No, we're all still gonna fuck up.
So in that, do I identify with the Muslim tribe as a tribe? Like that's what it is. It's a big
Ramadan or
tribe.
anything like that?
I did like so many. I haven't recently, but I feel like I'll go back to it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I see the benefit of it.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I have boys that like are like me, or they're they're always smoking weed and having a drink pretty often and shit like that. And they still go off of it for that month, and I see the benefit, and I'm like all open minded, like, man, I'll do what I want. But while I see the benefit that it's happening to them by playing with that, sticking to that rule book there for that part of it, has a real benefit.
Yeah.
You know, but because I was raised in it so aggressively.
It's just like a bad taste in your mouth, kind of?
Yeah, so the pendulum, I always say pendulum, it swung the other way in the sense I was like, man, it's all like, there's no God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It swung the other way. And then now it's leveling out where it's like, I see why this is, sticking to this assures that a huge group of people are going to play ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you just need people to, like, when you go, you need to, like, use this form of like religion used to be like, okay, you do business, you buy your food from Muslims, so it's like, you're Muslim, I may not even know the same language, but you're Muslim, right? Okay, you're Muslim, sick, okay, you know what I mean? It's almost like a tribe. So in that sense, I do identify as a Muslim.
If you had a kid, would you raise your kid Muslim?
I'd raise him some new thing. I'd tell him what I was taught, but I tell him what I believe now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how I think about it in my head right now. But imagine maybe if I have a kid, I'll realize that doesn't work. Maybe they only listen to the first thing. I don't know. So that's a stupid answer maybe. I don't have a kid.
Yeah.
But like, that's a better question for you. Like, what do you teach? You were raised hardcore Jehovah Witness.
Yeah.
And what happened?
And
you had the kid out of like wedlock.
Yeah.
To a very Jehovah Witness family.
Yeah. Pardon?
To like, your family is like Jehovah Witness, right?
Yeah.
So that was like heat for you. That was trouble for you, right?
Well, I'd already left the religion. Like,
okay, you have to do it like
so
officially
it's like,
in that religion.
In that religion, it's like there's no like, you can like,
there's no loosey goosey. There's no loosey goosey.
Yeah, it's like either you're in it or you're out. Like straight up.
Yeah,
it's like hard to like make a choice. Nigga. You in and you out. And you're like, really? I can't
fuck! Can I come back?
Yeah, because I'm like, I like everybody, but I just want to do some pussy jokes, and they're like, no, you can't. Okay. Can't be talking about no pussy shit around here. I'm like, oh fuck,
that's so fucking funny.
So yeah,
so you were out. You were officially were like, I'm out this bitch. Peace.
Yeah. So I left.
You dip.
Yeah, I left when I was like 19.
Did you slam a door?
And no, I kind of just I just walked. My dad drove me away as we cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to ask.
But then I got drunk.
Yeah.
And it was sick. But like, yeah, so they kind of just like have cut you off, like if you don't believe the same thing as them. So for my kid, I'm going to be like, same thing, I'll teach him the stuff that I was taught, but just like, like I'll share certain stories with him that I learned from the Bible that are good, like moral stories and things like that.
Exactly.
But I'm just going to be like, yeah, it's a guide of how to live a good life, but yeah, it's not facts, It's this is just
it's a starter pack for humanity.
Yeah, exactly. This is the starter pack, and
it has all, because humans, we don't ever remember stats or facts. We remember stories only, and that's the whole point of all religions.
Yeah.
Is besides Buddhism, I don't know if Buddhism even is. Actually, it is. Yeah, all of them. It's a collection of stories and lessons from the stories.
Yeah.
That's what humans as animals. That's what the fuck we remember is stories.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So but I feel like it'll be tough to tell now that I think about what I said earlier, I'd be like, tell him what I learned and then also tell him how I think now. Yeah. Sounds good on paper, but now that I play it out, I'd be like, well, so Dad, how old is the Earth? It's like, okay, well, buddy, well, in Islam, in the Quran, it says that it was built in like a week, right? But scientists have carbon dated the planet like 4 billion years, right? So just know that some people think it's 7 days. Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses,
but it's definitely 4 billion years, like 4 billion
like
plus.
What's it called? They'll be like, one day for God is like, a billion days for us or something like that. It's like they rationalize. They'll try and find some rationalization.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Like,
So then it's like, so then when it says pray 5 times a day, why am I praying 5 times a day?
yeah.
Why isn't it not actually 0.5? You know what I mean? If we're intellectualizing the metaphors of this thing, it's not actual 1 week. It's 1 week in the heavenly nebula. If you study science, you'll know that people.
You have a favorite Bible story?
Like a parable?
Yeah, just something that happened in the Bible that you're just like, oh shit, that's fucked, or like anything like that.
You know what? Like, well, for me, it's the Quran. Like, that's what I know.
Oh yeah, true.
But the Quran is in Arabic, and my Arabic wasn't to the point that it's like Shakespearean English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're memorizing it. No one is teaching you what it means. They're just teaching you you're repeating recitation.
Just how to say it, not like, okay.
Half the niggas are Somalian. They don't even speak Arabic. Forget about the possibility of you recognizing the word. It's a different language. No attempt to teach meaning.
Oh wow.
I was in that school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's like the game. It's like because it's praise. People praise memorization of the Quran. You know what I mean? Because it brings you closer to it. It's good for the brand of Islam. You know? It's good, right?
Did you ever hear the story of Lot?
No.
That's like one of my favorite stories because it's just like.
Is it from Old Testament?
Is it from the Old Testament? I think it's from the Old Testament. Sick. It might be, but it's like just kind of fucked. It's like a really weird story that I never really grasped my head around. Where it's like, so this dude had like a bunch of kids, had like a bunch of farm animals, and he's living a nice life. Okay.
Yeah.
Satan comes and he's like to God, he's like, yo, I bet that I could convince this man who's like your most loyal man right now, I bet I could convince him to like denounce your name. And God's like, no, you can't do that. He loves me too much. There's no way he'd denounce me. And then Satan's like, all right, well, how about I do anything that I can? And God's like, all right, you can do everything you can to him, but you just can't kill him. And then Satan's like, all right, deal. So then Satan fucking kills this guy's whole family, kills his livestock, destroys his whole life, gives him boils. He's on the street. Then
the boils.
Yeah, he gets boils and, he fucking random shit. He has herpes in his eyes.
He already had the herpes, though. So he's happy about the boils. Now he has it covered.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's just boils over here. Yeah, it's boils on
God. Or whatever, yeah.
And then so he eventually doesn't, denounce God's name. And then Satan's like, all right, you win. You win.
Can you bring them back? Oh, no, I can't bring them back.
Yeah, and then God's he's like, oh, shit. And then, so he doesn't bring the kids back, but he's like, I got you a hot new wife, though. And she's going to have even more kids. And then you're going to get 600 cows and 600 sheep and 600 things. And he's just like, what? You still murdered 10 of my kids. What the fuck?
I love those children, God.
I was a pawn.
I don't think you understand.
I was a pawn in this game of
That's
the devil.
So funny.
I'm like, that's insane.
That's the funniest.
Isn't that insane that this is what we're teaching people?
But
that's why you should always love the Lord. And I'm like, that's why one thing I think about is like, I'm like, I don't think God would actually do that. If there is a God who's all powerful and stuff, I don't think he would be like, yeah, kill all these innocent kids to prove that this one guy is gonna love me forever. It's like, that's not. They say in the Bible like God is love. So I'm like, come on.
And then every story contradicts it. Yeah. But it's it's like people it's hard. Some people still haven't heard this, but it's like I feel like sometimes you just got to come to terms with the fact that these books were written by men.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, I know that's literally might be hard for some people to hear, but it's like, yo.
Oh, yeah. These weren't perfect immortal beings.
Look at all of pre-human history, and to think that we were just wise enough 3,000 or 4,000 years ago to put together. God coincidentally spoke. That's pretty much as soon as they got wise enough to come up with it, complicated corporations, they invented religions. As soon as they got that smart, they're like, we'll compile all the stories of lore rich people were like, bring all the fucking philosophers and everything and compile the stories. We'll call it the Old Testament or something like that. And like, we'll go push this on like, this is like we're gonna go push this for a couple thousand years, and it's gonna be good for money.
It's gonna connect.
Yeah, and then everybody gets their own version of it.
Yeah,
and they
everybody.
push it, 'cause you can't have a monopoly on religion.
It was probably just like, like anything else in life, like comedy. Like you see somebody doing something, you're like, oh shit, he's making money. Yo, I'm gonna start my own shit. It's like
Literally, yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it becomes something crazy.
I wonder all the religions that fell off too. The ones
Dude,
that
there's
like,
probably 1,000 we don't even know about.
Yeah.
That like 7 people have, and they fucking like real religions, like with like teachings, because in the U.S. there's a lot of fake bullshit for people trying to, you know what I mean? Like this fucking garage is a religion or whatever, you know, that kind of shit. But like real religions, man, and like because every religion has like, even in the Christian church, it's like you have like Protestant, Catholic, and then it like. Christianity breaks down in those where it's like what is
like
it called,
Baptist,
like
Southern Baptist,
or like Greek Anglo-Saxon, and it's like what is it when it's regular versus non-regular? Yeah, there's a term for it.
I have no clue.
Like Orthodox.
Oh yeah, Orthodox
or non. I don't know if there's a non-Orthodox.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm even like using it correctly there, but there's so many different things. Everyone is a different thing.
Yeah,
I don't even know. So it's like. They're all kind of,
and every single one's like, we're right.
Yeah,
you're just like, come on, not everybody can't be the right one,
bro. When I realized it is when I was raised in London, Ontario, has like a very has a big Arab community, and when you're in the mosque and you're among that, you're in that mindset. It's like a cloud of like assumptions of knowledge and shit like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and. When I went to university, first year I went to Waterloo, and I'm with a lot of international students and kids from everywhere. Engineering class, obviously, it's fucking a bunch of brown and Asian and like kids from all over, and so many of them were different religions, and everybody literally thought they were raised to think theirs is right, like definitely they're the right ones.
Yeah, and
now I had it like undeniably, like in London it was either white kids or Muslims. I wasn't hanging. I didn't have a bunch of Jewish friends. I didn't have a bunch of fucking Jehovah's Witness friends. It was just Muslims or white people kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now it's like, yo, Hindi or Hindu, like, or all these things, and everyone's like some people I have like aggressively like Mormon friends too.
Oh yeah.
And it's
yeah.
like, I'm like, holy fuck, everybody like thinks theirs is the one. And now I realize how ridiculous it is because I think mine is the one. Yeah. I'm still at that point where I'm sure mine is the one.
Yeah.
And
I know it's crazy.
Like I'm not.
Yeah. I remember too, like when I first left the religion too, how I thought when I left, I thought that I was doing a bad thing. And I was just like content with it, I was like, all right, I'm never gonna go to heaven, and but
same.
That's what life's gonna be like, and blah blah blah. Like it took me years to like get out of my head, and I'm like, wait, I'm not a bad person because I don't want to fucking just go to this building every single week, and
like I'm leaving the organization. I'm leaving this organization, and it's got such this culture of like looking down. Bro, one time I fucking like I said this before, like, and this is crazy how Muslim I was, but like when I was coming up, like the idea of you becoming non-Muslim, you'll get killed.
Yeah,
that's like a death sentence. And I'm like, I don't even know what's gonna happen in London. And I grew up with a chick, the Somalian chick who had a hijab on and everything, and she was like very like she was like a feminist before it was hot. You know what I mean? Like she was outright fucking pushing it, and eventually she took her hijab off, and I remember just disassociating with her because I literally thought doom is about to rain upon her.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get hit by lightning if I'm near her.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. She took her hijab off? Oh fuck. That's how in it I was. And I disassociated myself.
Oh, 100%.
And then now I look back like, holy fuck, like that's how, because they scare you into not questioning anything.
100%.
It's like, believe the book as it's written.
Oh yeah.
Can I make my own assumptions? No.
I've ran into same thing, like a few people who've used to been in like my kingdom halls, like in my congregations and stuff.
Yeah.
And like
sick names, better than a mosque. My kingdom hall. My kingdom hall.
I see them on the street and like, you don't see somebody for years and you're like, you're just shocked and you're like happy to see them. You're like, oh shit, what's up? And then they would not have the same reaction. They just be like, and like they like run away, like, hey, yeah, I can't talk, and like they got to leave. Like they're like
God is
terrified.
literally watching right now.
They're watching right now, and if I
God
talk
is watching,
to you,
God is watching.
But I also just hated how pushy it was too. You know, it was just too pushy. Like having to go, like going door to door.
Yeah.
Like,
Jehovah's
Muslim
Witness.
people,
I couldn't make it through some shit like
Muslims,
that.
you
We
didn't
just have to pray
did you-
5 times a day.
So
and
for
play
Muslims,
it cool, pray 5 times a day.
because like in the Jehovah's Witness religion, it was like they're like what Jesus was doing was he was always spreading the word of God. He was trying to get more followers and stuff like that. You know, so it was
Trying to
like
get the blue check.
was the Muslim like that at all? Like were they trying to bring people into the church as well? Or it's
Yeah,
like,
every one of them has
Yeah.
a huge recruitment vibe and strategy to it.
okay, yeah.
No, it's like it'll be like, no great. The man who makes a man convert into Islam is the man who never has sin again, or or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know, but like you know what I mean. But there's constant. It's built into it like a corporation, like just constant efforts of recruitment, pushing for zakah, which is like pay your. And they say 7% of what you make is suggested.
You should donate.
Pay
yeah.
7% and do all these things and be involved in all this stuff. It's just
Bruh.
part of a
Isn't that
membership and a
insane?
corporation. Is
7%
it? If you're not realizing
of your whole life.
Yeah.
Imagine you saved that and like invested that much. Like
Yeah. You
Like-
put your kids through college.
yeah.
Like,
Oh my god.
and they're going to keep asking you. The mosque or the church, they're all the same. They all want to extend the parking lot. They all want to build a new floor. They all want to open a playground for the school.
Yeah.
They all want to do
You
this
need
shit.
you need money for the convention that's coming
Yeah,
up. Yeah, you know.
And where's the
assembly.
playground? It's been 3 years. You've been asking every week for donation. Where's the nothing? What? You have a fucking yellow sled. Like you made $3 million. You know? They're like, yeah, that's being put towards the library fund. That's gonna be fucking announced in 1 week. Oh my fuck. You know, it never ends, right?
It's
And I'm
insane.
like, oh, this is just a business.
Yeah.
And now, I didn't want to accept that. I saw everything, but I used to have thoughts when I was 16, 17, I'd have thoughts like this, and I would literally be like, oh, you can't think that. You can't think that.
Yeah.
And I would stop that thought.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, oh, fuck it, let's play Super Smash or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
You know what's crazy? What I used to do is like, because you know, you're told to like pray every day, multiple times a day, stuff too. Like Jehovah's Witnesses are as well the same. It's not like there's no set number, but they're like you should at least pray, you know,
yeah.
once or twice a day or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
pray as much as possible, kind of thing. Have a good
Pray as much as you
relationship
can.
with God.
Yeah.
And,
Don't eat fish. Pray as much as you can.
So I like knew I wanted to leave by the time I was like 14 or 15, kind of. And then so I just like, I'm like, if I keep praying, my relationship with God would be too much and I won't be able to leave. So like, I'm just going to have to stop praying. And like, I didn't pray for like maybe like 10 years. I didn't pray or like say anything like that.
From like 14 to 24.
Yeah. Something like that.
You would
Probably.
fake
like,
the prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I would still have to.
Oh, no. Yeah. I imagine that you're with people. No, they just
Yeah,
say
yeah.
pray by yourself kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, got it.
But yeah, if I did have to be with people though, that would be the only time where
Yeah,
I'd
you'd
pray,
never
like-
be like, no, I'm not praying right now.
Yeah.
You would never say that.
Oh no,
ever,
that'd be fucked.
Ever, yeah.
That's the worst too. Have you ever had to pray for people?
Yeah. Oh, and that's the standard in Islam. You get for every additional person that is praying with you, you get more deeds.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes it kind of forces community in a collective. That's
And-
one of those things that has a good vibe to it.
Are the prayers? Is it like the memorized one? Is it one single one, or do you have to freestyle it?
Oh, these are all memorized.
Oh.
Yeah, you say every surah is memorized. The
Okay,
prayers you say one like big verse or section of the Quran, a surah, and then you say another, and then you go down, and each prayer has between 2 to 4 of these like sets of going down and going back up.
Oh,
It's
okay,
called
okay.
a rak'ah, right?
Yeah.
So in each one, you would say the first standard surah Al-Fatiha, and then whatever surah you want, like after that.
Oh wow.
So you get, and then for if it's 3 or 4, those ones you only do the first one at the beginning. You go down, and you do it silently, right? But it's like you're always saying a memorized thing, but you have your options of what the whole Quran is full of surahs. So you have your choice of what you can say.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
it comes from a memorized place. You're not saying, oh, thanks for the meal, God, and you're not saying the Arabic version of we thank you for your bounty, and you just bought like it's all like a surah, like a specific like you know what I mean, like Matthew 4:20. He ran onto him and then he this. You know?
Okay. Yeah. I remember there was like I had a Bible study that I had to do when I was probably like 17 or 18, and there was this kid who I'd meet up with, who we would like read over some like religious publication and then like study it, and like we talk for like 45 minutes or an hour or some shit.
Yeah.
And I had to like run this, and like I already knew I wanted to leave this religion.
Yeah.
And I could tell this kid didn't want to do it either. It's like his fucking mom's like forcing him to do this shit. So we would just sit in like this living room and like both just fucking force ourselves to do this shit that we didn't want to. But I just remember that was the only time I'd ever have to pray out loud, and I'd have to pray for him and like for me, and they're just like the shittest fucking prayers. We'd just be there and be like, all right, I guess we should start this. Hello there, Lord and Savior. I just want to say thank you for letting me have an easy bike ride over here to Terrence's house, and letting his mother bless me with the honor of teaching him your word. And if we can find a communal love between I and him, then thou shall be ever enlightened. So, in conclusion, I would say, love thy neighbor. This I ask in Jesus' name, amen. And he's going to be like, you for sure like should not be here right now.
Yeah, he's like, please don't tell your mom.
Yeah, you're not qualified for this at all. I'm pretty sure that prayer didn't count.
That was so funny.
That's a negative prayer.
What are the number requirements for Jehovah's Witness? Like door-to-door numbers? Is there a number?
There's no requirement, but they keep track of it.
Those are leads for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll go door to door, and like if you get somebody there, you'll like, if someone's home and they said they're not interested, then you just like cross them off the list. Or if they take the magazines, then you're like, all right, that'll be a return call. So like you're gonna come back to this person. Or if you get to a house randomly, every now and then you'll find somebody who like used to be a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. And they'll be like disfellowshipped, and then that means woo. Okay. Bye. Don't touch. Yeah. That's basically them saying they have fucking COVID or some shit.
Yeah. Have you done this a lot, door to door?
Oh yeah, I did my whole life.
Okay, so who is, if you the demographic that not is most likely to let you in, but the most likely to be turned, or most likely to be like, huh?
Oh, like,
who lets you in and also is like, I didn't, wow, huh? Really, I actually never even knew that.
It's like, kind of all over the map.
Has that ever happened?
Oh yeah. There's some people who are just like, you know, like they're just interested, like want to talk. They like talking about God or something like that, you know. So like they don't really want to convert, but they just want to like talk
have this
about
conversation.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
And so like they're interested in it.
Interesting.
But there's no, like, I grew up in Brampton, so there's like, you know, all the people, it was black,
like
Indian, and white, and like everybody.
We already got
like,
one, bro. We already got one.
Yeah, mostly the white people didn't really want to hear from you. I feel like it'd be like more ethnic people, or like, you know, sometimes Indians. A lot of Indians would like to just like, you know, talk about God and talk about different things like that.
Interesting.
But
wow.
Yeah, it was whack though, man. That's the crazy thing too, is like every single fucking door I went to, I was terrified.
I bet,
bro.
Yeah.
Every door. It wasn't like any time. Like it wasn't like anything that I ever got used to. You know,
like to stumble or to be attacked or to be like rejected or like
all of the above. I'm afraid of dogs. I don't want fucking dogs to be coming up to the door.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody to kidnap me. I don't like, you know, or just somebody yelling at. Like I remember being a kid, like 8 years old, and this lady snapping on me, bro.
And you went alone to the door?
It was me and I was like 8 and or else maybe I was like 10 and my friend was 12, and my dad was with us, but he was like, let me see if you guys can do this door on your own or whatever.
Yeah.
And so my dad like stood back around. He stood back around the garage, like out of sight. And then we
I'm a great father.
We knock on this door, and we're like, "Hi there. we just have the watchtower, and we just want to know, we have a question. Do you think that there'll ever be peace in the world? She's like, you fucking Jehovah's Witnesses, you come to my goddamn door on Saturday. You know, this is my only fucking day off. Do you know that's my day off? And you guys come here and you spew this fucking bullshit. I don't give a fuck, all right? Get out of my fucking property. We're like, okay. We like walk back down the fucking driveway and around the corner and see my dad. My dad's dying of laughter. He's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Your first scream. I remember the first time I got yelled at. Yes. You guys are growing up. And then he like took us for Tim Hortons.
That's the most Canadian Jehovah Witness experience ever. And then we got Timbits. It wasn't bad after.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a good. So do the Jehovah Witness like relish like being like, oh, I got a lot of yellers today? You know what I mean? Or do they're just rude people? Not. That shit takes a toll, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Most people are nice. That's only happened to me like once. Like the most rude people ever are like on a regular basis is just like, you know, they just won't open the door or something. You know, they'll look through the side and they're like, no.
You have a book in your hand, I'm assuming?
Yeah. 2 magazines or like the Bible or some shit, you know.
I'll never open the door. The Bible.
And sometimes it's so hot too, man. The fucking summertime in a suit, walking around with a fucking briefcase. Then you see somebody you go to school with, and they're like, Chris, why the fuck do you have a briefcase on 11 o'clock in the morning? Like you're a fucking tax collector or some shit. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're not. I'm not actually here right now.
Oh, what are the worst?
Just run away.
One of the worst. I remember going to this one house and like knocking on the door, and then the girl who opened the door was like the hottest girl in my class.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh no, just standing there in a fucking suit with a clip-on tie. Oh my God. And she's like, Chris, what are you doing here? And like, we weren't even friends or anything either, you know? So that's what made it even weirder.
You weren't even on the radar.
Yeah. She's like, Chris, what the fuck? Why are you here dressed like this? And I'm like, can I talk to your dad? And she's like, okay. She calls her dad. He's like, nah, I don't want to hear this fucking bullshit. Closes the door. I'm like, oh God. Just so embarrassed. Fuck.
Oh God. That's the biggest nightmare, man. That's fucking hilarious. That's like a movie scene right there.
Yeah, it's brutal.
So is it required for heaven? To get into heaven, you have to do that.
You have to. If you're Jehovah's
What are the numbers?
You have to go.
You got to make the attempt.
Like, there's
no
numbers, but you have to. Like, I think they want you to average like 10 hours. They want in the hours mostly.
Per week.
Yeah, 10 hours a week.
And how do people usually knock it out? Like in 2-hour sessions or like 6 hours
basically.
on Saturday?
So I would do like 2 hours usually 2 hours every Saturday, kind of.
Damn.
So sometimes I wouldn't make 10. I'd usually like 8.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it'd get 10 hours or
we'd
sometimes we'd have to go for like, we'd go for an hour after the meetings. And there was a lot too. We have to go, bro. Like when I was growing up, I think it's shorter now, but this is how it used to be. So Monday night, we would have family study. That was just me and my family. We'd sit together and we would read some fucking Jehovah's Witness book.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, we'd have book study. So that meant like 10 or 15 other Jehovah's Witnesses would come to our house and we'd study another book together and read the Bible and shit.
But good food, I bet, though.
No food.
Oh, that's a nightmare. Continue.
No food. People just come over, you dress up, you make a circle in the living room.
Oh, it's truly horrific.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Then Thursday, that's a regular meeting.
Yeah.
And then so that's like an hour, 45-minute meeting.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, you got to do 2 hours of door-to-door. And then Sunday was like the Sunday service, which is like a 2-hour service. So, yeah.
Bro, these are like professional sports, like practicing hours. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, like when I think about all the time that I could have had.
Bro, you could have been anything by now.
Oh, 100%.
Anything. You could have been dunking, fucking, you skateboarded here. You could have been fucking the Burton guy.
Bro,
by now.
If I put all that energy into something that I actually wanted to do, like, fuck.
But you had to have that, all those like, those humiliating moments and shit give you that anguish that make you want to go to the stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So maybe it's like...
And one thing that I definitely will always like, you know, one thing I was happy about it is that they promoted like public speaking and things like that. So I was doing talks, like not talks, but like we do Bible study or like Bible reading sometimes. And so I was doing that from like when I was like 7 years old. I'd be like in front of like 100 people, just like reading parts of the Bible. And like, you know, my dad's a good public speaker, so he told me how to like emphasize certain words and things like that. And then as I got older, I started, you know, you start doing talks that are about like, you actually have to give your point of view. And so I'd like try and make it funny and things like that. So like, that was kind of my introduction into
in the church.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's hilarious, man? You take in a lot of like great black activists, pretty much the exact same thing. I just watched a Sam Cooke documentary.
Oh yeah,
Sam Cooke started in the
Killing of
church.
Sam Cooke, that one?
No, it's called. It might be called that. It's like a recent one on Netflix.
Oh, word.
It's terrific. I didn't realize he was that much of an activist,
Yeah.
but yeah, he started out in the church pretty much, and then went into like, because the music back then was like, oh, I lost my baby today. It's like not addressing any of the real problems in the States.
Yeah.
My baby went home and I'm sad to see her go. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then he started coming and he's like, a change is going to come. Like, like get no love.
I think that's the same one, right?
Or
the documentary is like the two killings of Sam Cooke.
Well, they show how he get. Oh, the two kill. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
And now I've just finished this book called "The Fire Next Time" by James Baldwin. Mm-hmm. All right. James Baldwin.
Yeah, I want to get some of his stuff.
Yeah, bro. I'm literally in the middle of a documentary right now when you came.
Yeah.
He's sick. He affected his change through his like writing, and like you know, he was like a very prolific writer. But he started out in the church too. Mm-hmm. He started out as a preacher's son, and then was better at it.
Yeah.
And he saw in the church, he saw all the money coming into the church and how it was actually being spent. Mm-hmm. He saw that all the people involved with the church were just shit talking other people involved with the church, and like they weren't any truly holier than anybody else they were preaching to.
Oh, 100%.
That it was just the same shit. That this is just a business. This collection plate for God's is going to a Cadillac for the preacher, and like he came from that. So it's like I feel like when you're like deep in that institution of religion, sometimes like, and you're honest about what you see, that's what it is. That's really what it comes down to. A lot of people just it's difficult for them to be honest about what they're seeing, and it was for me for a very long time until it eventually was like, oh, okay, come on.
And I wouldn't have been able to even come to that realization if I like didn't have a love for stand-up. It was like my love for stand-up, like if I didn't have that to pursue, then I don't even know if I like ever would have left, you know? But it was like, I just loved it so much that I'm like, I have to do this. Like, there's no choice.
I'm the same way, bro. Yeah. So I went from Muslim to engineer to comedian. I always needed a thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because like they built a system of a thing into us. Like, I feel like with this life, or maybe this is just natural, I don't know. But like how you had religion, it took such a huge part of your life, because we didn't have diversified lives where we were canoeing one day and reading books together and going for walks and visiting this, you know? Yeah. It was like militant involvement with a thing. Mm-hmm. So we're like built for like, what is my thing now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after I was like Muslim, I was like school. I'm a student. That was my period where I was like, everything was crumbling. You know what I mean? That whole world that I had known like to be my only reality was just falling apart kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, okay, the earth can't be 7 days old. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's talk about this to yourself. Let's have this conversation. Or something of that kind of like nature, right?
Yeah.
But then after I went into comedy, engineering. I always hated engineering, but I just didn't know what the fuck. But I was always obsessed with. I was watching comedy every day, and like, bro, I was the same. I was like the MC they were like grade 8. They're like, okay, you're gonna be the MC for the graduation. I MC'd. I wrote jokes. I didn't even know it yet, right?
Did it go well?
It went well, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it went well.
That'd be so funny, like in your
yeah,
no, but if it's going good, you just look over at your teacher. They're laughing now, bitch.
Oh yeah.
They're laughing now. Okay. Fuck you.
That's the same teacher who told Biggie he would never mount to nothing. She's just watching the music video at her house, just pissed off. Yo, but man, we're coming out of an hour 20 minutes, man.
Shit.
I usually go for like an hour 10, man. This
let's just fly by.
Easy, bro.
Yeah,
let's land it. I know you actually, a lot of my guests right now are like really hit by this shit. But I know you're at the cusp of the stand-up coming out. So where are you gonna be? Do you have dates, or are you doing?
No, I don't have any dates.
Are you doing the protest show again?
Doing some like, I got some like private gigs I might be doing and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you won't even find out about those. So don't even worry about those.
But there's like a speakeasy gig that we got the lineup that we did. I did one.
That's
yesterday.
the one with Big Norm picture.
Yeah,
right?
Big Norm and Keith.
Yeah,
and so I was on it last week, and I might do some other ones. I'm not sure, but so yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and then just see what I'm posting on there. But my comedy album's out, so exactly you can listen to that shit. And the third or not third, it's like I think it's like the 5th season of the Gail Pyle series. It's like this web series on CBC, and I'm in that in the 5th season, so that's going to be coming out I think pretty soon, relatively soon. I don't know. Yeah. I don't have a date yet, but they're telling me it's going to be coming out soon.
And you got Boys season 2, right?
Oh yeah. It'll be the first episode of season 2 for Boys.
There you go. So check that out, season 2.
Catch me in my couple clips.
That's so fucking sick. You shoot?
No, I don't shoot. But what's sick though is like, it was like my first big, kind of like, it's only like a tiny bit part, Yeah. But it was like my first like big production that I got to be on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we filmed at my first job at Wildwater Kingdom, and I was like, oh shit,
like home turf, huh?
This, like, it's
dude, that's fucking sick, man.
Yeah,
man. I'm in episode 8 of that thing too. I'm just no lines, just a servant who brings a fucking fresca.
Oh, nice.
Do a product placement and get the fuck out of there. But I'm looking forward to that shit, man.
Of course, man.
I'm excited, man. That's also my first thing. That's like.
And it's cool when you because you had to go for a fitting.
The set was big.
Did you go for a fitting and stuff?
Oh, at the huge
thing. Lot.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, this is huge. And they're like, yeah, just come to this room here. And you're walking through hallways and hallways.
But I hate how it's just papers that'll be like The Boys, but it's a nice The Boys logo, but printed out on a printer. Boys, wardrobe to the left.
And you're just walking past all these offices, and it's like, executive producer here. This here. Like, man, this is fucking
You realize
sick.
how corporate a show really is.
Yeah.
And there's a huge administrative effort behind the scenes.
Yeah. And then in the, I remember in the wardrobe, it's like a warehouse.
Oh, it was sick. High up too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. I'm like, I've never seen anything like this.
Dude. And Brand, plug your track too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and,
this guy's also a fucking dope rapper.
Yeah, so I rap
legitimately talented too, not just like, and he's got a dope track. Check it out.
Yeah. It's called Bonsai Trees. And it's under Logan Lee. That's the rap name.
Well, yeah,
Logan
which is
Lee.
sick.
Follow that on Spotify and shit. I got another track. I just shot a music video with Conrad. And
yeah, he was saying.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop that soon too, and probably got maybe 1 or 2 other tracks I might drop.
No, that's fucking sick. So you dropped the track and the music video together?
For the last song, I only dropped the song.
Yeah.
And then for the next one, I'm gonna drop the music video and the song at the same time.
Hell yeah! Do you know the name yet?
Yeah, it's Bonsai Trees.
Oh, that one's Bonsai Trees.
Yeah.
So
oh wait, what did I say?
You said Bonsai Tree for the first one wasn't Bonsai Tree.
Oh no, the first one is what is it called?
It's fucking dope. Good. But yeah.
Search Logan Lee.
Yeah. Yo, that's so
the only fucking song. Pumbaa. That's what it's called. It's called Pumbaa.
Pumbaa. Okay.
Yeah, but
okay,
the second track that I'm gonna drop is called Bonsai Trees. But
dude, that's sick. Yeah. Well, look out for that, man. If it'll line up. I'll probably drop it on the page. I'll retag it. Yeah. Bro, it's sick. And Conrad's gonna be in the podcast.
Oh, tough.
In the music video. So I'm looking forward to that.
I don't know if
he shot it.
Yeah,
he told me he was acting in it. I just talked to the guy yesterday.
Acting in it? I don't know. Maybe that'd be so funny. He like shot a bunch of clips of himself after we shot
That's
everything.
Hilarious.
He's like, I cut it together. It's all just him actually rapping.
Yeah, he's not in it at all. Okay, I'll reach out with the guy, but that's funny. But yeah, from my end, as always, I appreciate you listening. Apple and Spotify listeners, click that follow, subscribe, all that shit. I said it at the beginning. Check out the YouTube. Full episodes on the YouTube. You guys are the best. Leave a comment. Say something nice. Be easy, man. Just chill. Yo, appreciate you coming on, Chris. Come back on, bro.
This was sick.
Hell yeah, man. Peace.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.